It can be so unbelievably frustrating when you constantly try over and over again to manifest certain things, but no matter what you do, nothing changes. So many people encounter this scenario when it comes to manifesting and the law of attraction, and I want to show you exactly what to do if you struggle with this. You know the law of attraction works. It's one of the 12 universal laws, and you see it working for other people. So, what is stopping you from making it work for you too? Whether you're new to the law of attraction or you've been practicing for years, I want to share one of the biggest steps you can take right now to finally start seeing results. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name's Mary Kate and I'm a mindset coach, manifesting expert, and founder of mkmagicmindset.com. My whole channel is all about law of attraction, manifesting, meditations, and more. So be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you. Does this cycle sound familiar to you? You start off super excited and motivated to manifest something. Maybe you just heard someone share something amazing they manifested, or maybe you just listened to a new meditation or a video, or you read a new book and you feel ready to go and ready to create something. You start following a bunch of techniques that you were told to do, and you feel like you are putting in the work and giving it your all. You are ready to make it happen this time. Maybe you even put a deadline on it because someone told you to create a sense of urgency. Then you tell yourself you surrendered, and then that night you ask again one more time before you fell asleep just to make sure the universe heard you clearly enough the first few times. Then the next day, you follow all the steps and techniques again. You ask again, you surrender again, and probably deep down at this point, you're starting to wonder why it hasn't shown up yet. Well, what's going on? Why isn't this manifesting working? I did all the steps, I did my part. How come other people can manifest cars and houses and money, and I'm doing everything the same and not getting what I asked for? Then the deadline comes and passes, and you feel defeated and frustrated, and you assume you're unlucky or that the law of attraction doesn't work. And then sometimes you usually just stop even trying or using it. Then maybe a few weeks or months later, you start the same cycle again after something reminds you or motivates you about manifesting again, and you repeat the cycle again and again and again. But you keep struggling with what isn't working. Seriously, do you notice this cycle for yourself? Do you feel seen? Comment below if you do. And don't worry, you're not alone. I used to do the same cycle too. It's totally normal, not meaning to call you out. There is so much information out there about the law of attraction and manifesting, and it can be extremely overwhelming and confusing. But the thing is that it doesn't have to be. If you relate it at all to the cycle I just explained, let me simplify it for you and show you what is going wrong in your manifesting process. So let's break this down. Manifesting truly only comes down to a few key things, but I want to share two major factors that will dramatically affect your ability to manifest. Let's get into them, but really quickly, before we do, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, that little like button right down there below. It takes just 1 second and it will give you some really positive vibes, so go ahead and do that and let's get started. The first factor that I want to share with you is all about the asking part. This part only needs to happen once. Let me repeat that. You only need to state your desire or intention once. I used to make this mistake all the time where I would repeat it over and over and over and over again, thinking I needed to keep asking because it hadn't happened yet. So wouldn't I need to keep asking? In fact, the more you keep asking, the more you'll block it. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but here's why. When you ask for something, it comes from a place of desire. And that desire comes from a place of lack or not having it. Everything in life is contrast. You experience the things you don't want to get clarity on what you do want. Think of how weird and boring your life would be if you never experienced contrast or things you didn't like. You literally would have no desire for anything because it would be so boring. Every single time you are presented with something you don't like, whether you realize it or not, it's a gift. It's a chance for you to examine it and say, no thanks, I don't like that, I want this instead. And then you get to create that other thing that you want. I mean, look at your past relationships. What would have happened if you stayed with your first crush that you had ever in like kindergarten, or the first boyfriend or girlfriend that you had? No, you had lessons to learn and contrast to experience to see what you truly do want. I could go on and on about that, but that's a whole other topic that we'll save for another day. But getting back to it, you only need to ask once. Because if you keep asking over and over and over again, your focus is on the lack of it and the fact that you don't have it. So it's less about asking for what you want and more about choosing. Think of what you intend to manifest as a choice. You are choosing to call in this thing and create this thing, and you set the intention that you get to have it. You're not asking and begging and pleading for it over and over and over again. Does that make sense? And now that you're clear on setting the intention, the other major factor I want to talk to you about is finding your way in and the right process. As most of you know, or in case you're new to my channel, I approach manifesting and the law of attraction much differently than most people. I don't believe it's a one-size-fits-all approach, and I will say it over and over and over again because it's so true. What works for one person might not work for you, and that is okay. There's not one right way to do things, and if someone ever tells you that there's only one way to do something, run far, far away because that is such a limiting belief. As human beings, we are all so unique and intricate, and we all perceive the world in different ways, and we have different ways that we learn and understand things. So if you keep trying techniques that don't work for you based on how you experience the world and understand things, how do you expect to see the results you want? It's so important to get to know yourself, and I don't mean that in the tacky way. I mean truly get to know yourself at the core. It's a constant process of understanding your personal experiences and beliefs, and it's really such a fascinating process when you look into it. For example, I need to be really grounded before I work through my manifesting process. And also, I am a physical and visual learner. You're probably saying like, well, what does that mean? Well, I like to use techniques that incorporate the way I learn and comprehend things. I like to use techniques that work for me based on my learning type and personality. I use it in my manifesting process. I use pieces of me in my process. This is exactly what I teach inside of my digital course, Abundance Academy. I mean, did you even realize that you could use specific manifesting techniques that work for you based on your learning type and personality? I'm guessing probably not, because this is my revolutionary approach to manifesting, and the results you get will truly speak for themselves. But truly connecting with yourself and understanding and getting to know yourself will completely shift and change the way you manifest. Once you know what works for you, you can find your process and what feels best for you. And I say what feels best for you because that is how you know your manifesting process is working. I get that question all the time. You'll know it because you feel it. Did you realize that manifesting is supposed to be enjoyable? It was never meant to be a struggle or a chore, but so many people manifest from a desperate place and make it complicated and so much more overwhelming than it needs to be. You will know you are in alignment because it will feel good. And you can start to receive when you feel good. So follow what feels good always. Find a process that works for you. If you want more guidance or to know exactly what steps to follow, I share my exact 7-step manifesting process and how to customize it for yourself inside of Abundance Academy as well. I show you exactly what to do, step by step. This is exactly what I use personally, and it took me well over a decade to perfectly craft and perfect, but it's just so convenient to have a go-to process that will work every single time. So now when you look at what you've been doing in your manifesting, I really hope you see how much these 2 things will shift everything for you. Notice if you keep asking over and over again, and consider that your desire is simply a choice based out of contrast. Choose it, and then do the work to attract it, and find your way into it. My biggest advice is to follow what feels good, always, and you'll always be on the right path if you do that. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to share it with any family or friends who might find value in it as well. And be sure to check out my free Money Mindset Workbook. I'll leave a link down below. Inside this workbook, there is a manifesting formula, a powerful visualization exercise, and a ton of really great journal prompts to really help you connect with yourself. It's completely free, so be sure to check it out. And as always, be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post a new video. You can also connect with me over on Instagram at mkmagicmindset, where I share daily affirmations and lots of law of attraction inspiration. And last but not least, be sure to check out my website, mkmagicmindset.com, where you can find more about Abundance Academy, my digital courses, my programs, coaching, and so much more. And I will see you in the next one.